The burly man fiercely charged at the golden barrier. But its resilience proved too strong. The recoil force inflicted upon his limbs caused him excruciating pain. Despite the mont's relentless assault, the golden barrier remained unyielding, making it clear to everyone present that his offensive attempts were in vain. Monk Jingguang ended his spell and turned to curses. Yet the burly man continued his assault. Abruptly, the burly man retreated, prompting Monk Jingguang to summon a gray, shadowy weapon with his spell. The man narrowly dodged the weapon, but his right arm was severed, and a subsequent strike pierced his chest, killing him instantly. The onlookers witnessed the gray light's destructive power, reminiscent of the legendary flying sword. Monk Jingguang's display of the gray light awed the Wild Wolf Gang and dampened the morale of the Seven Mysteries sect. Han Li recognized the incantation used by Monk Jingguang as being identical to the Yu Wu Shu he had learned, and an intent to kill and loot arose within him. When the dwarf was gloating, two uncles of Seven Mysteries sect took action to avenge their disciple. Monk Jingguang used his ash light, which the Confucian scholar resisted with his silver thread and cold light. The ashen man drew his sword and unleashed sword light, which shattered the ash light but also injured himself. As the Confucian scholar was about to attack the dwarf, he was beheaded by the ash light controlled by Monk Jingguang. When Monk Jingguang was smug, Han Li seized control of the ash light. The ash light flew towards Han Li, and the dwarf's expression changed dramatically. The dwarf's gray light flew towards the Seven Mysteries sect crowd, but Han Li easily captured it in his hand. The Seven Mysteries sect members were astonished, and the dwarf was terrified. Han Li originally planned to sneakily attack the dwarf, but he had unintentionally captured the gray light. The gray light was a talisman, depicting a small gray sword that emitted a cold light. Han Li put the talisman away, pretending to be inscrutable as he bluffed his way through. The dwarf misunderstood Han Li as being from a cultivation family, claiming to be a disciple of the Yi family of Qinye Ridge who was there to help the Wild Wolf Gang. A dwarf claiming to be from the renowned Yi family of Qinyeling. Han Li determines he is too insignificant to be kept alive and plans to kill him. Dwarf offers a treasure. Han Li pretends to hesitate, then asks to meet his clan elder. Dwarf tries to dissuade him. Han Li returns the talisman, revealing his bluff. Han Li uses a firebolt to kill the dwarf, reducing him to ash. Others witness the sneak attack, but do not hear the conversation. Han Li obtains a talisman, token, and Yi family genealogy from the dwarf's ashes. Han Li has acquired 3 treasures and is preparing to take revenge against the Wild Wolf Gang. Wild Wolf Gang leader Jia Tianlong organizes his men to resist Han Li, and the scene is chaotic. Han Li uses the shadowless body technique and fireball technique to kill the Wild Wolf Gang members one by one. Jia Tianlong's subordinates are wiped out, and it is his turn to be burned to death by Han Li fireball technique. Han Li laments that killing is easy, and had he known, he would have done it himself. So Jia Tianlong would not have suffered. Han Li reveals his formidable strength, terrifying the mercenary groups present. Small and medium-sized mercenary groups like the Wild Wolf Gang flee Sunset Peak, ending the crisis for the Seven Mysteries sect. Han Li's whereabouts are unknown, leaving Wang Juchu worried. Han Li's identity spreads like wildfire, turning him into the legendary Fire Devil. Han Li returns to the valley and retreats to practice the art of controlling objects, preparing for the future. Using the Dust Mang character talisman consumes a large amount of magic power and has a short duration. The range of Dust Mang's attack is limited, flexible within a distance of 20 feet, and invalid beyond 30 feet. The number of times the talisman can be used is limited. The power of the talisman gradually weakens as the number of times Dust Mang is used increases. After Han Li found himself being demonized by rumors, he reluctantly accepted Li Feiyu's visit. Han Li decided to meet with Gate Master Wang and others in person to dispel their doubts. Han Li demonstrated the firebomb technique to Li Feiyu, making him envious. Li Feiyu successfully reported Han Li's decision to Gate Master Wang, easing Gate Master Wang's worries. Han Li performed the Eye of Heaven technique in Gate Master Wang's room, shocking Gate Master Wang. The Seven Mysteries sect's leadership planned to assassinate Han Li, but a mysterious master in gray stopped them. Master Wang Juchu, the sect leader, suspected that Han Li had learned of the plot and sought to test him. Han Li deliberately arranged a meeting with Wang Juchu in advance to further test him. Wang Juchu concealed the plot and expressed the Seven Mysteries sect's gratitude to Han Li. Han Li revealed his intention to leave the sect and proposed a deal with Wang Juchu. When Han Li failed to keep the appointment, Wang Juchu announced his disappearance, leading to the collapse of the Seven Mysteries sect's plot. After Han Li's departure from the Seven Mysteries sect, Sect Master Wang accepted Li Feiyu as his closed-door disciple, and Han Li's third uncle was also spared thanks to Sect Master Wang's help. Years later, Sect Master Wang relied on the medicinal pills in the jade bottle to bring him back to life multiple times. The pills were named essence-nurturing pills, sparking a frenzy among later generations. Li Feiyu received the pills left behind by Han Li and, learning that Han Li had left the sect, felt a sense of loneliness. He hoped that Han Li would soon marry and have children. Han Li and Ku Han rented a carriage. Han Li was reluctant to part with his friend Li Feiyu and longed to see his parents again. Eager to return home, Han Li had the carriage stop outside the village. He held back his excitement and entered the village alone to visit his parents. Han Li returns to his village to find a wedding taking place. After probing with his spirit, he discovers that the wedding is in his house and that the bride is his sister. Han Li finds his parents and relatives in the crowd and sees that they have aged considerably. He watches his sister get married before turning and leaving the village. Determined to embark on the path of cultivation, famous for its abundant grain production, Zhengzhou is the largest city in Langkazhou with a well-developed transportation network and thriving trade. Sun Ergo is the small boss of the Jia Yuancheng peer gang. Good at flattering and fawning, he manages several coolies. The wharf's largest gangs, Sipan Gang and Iron Fist Association, are diametrically opposed. Their subordinates often mock and exclude each other. Sipan Gang boss Sun Ergo and Iron Fist Association boss Heishang hate each other. But due to their alliance, they can only endure it. One day, a small, flat-bottomed boat docks at the pier, and a young man with ordinary looks and a yellow bird on his shoulder and a tall, strong giant in a cloak disembark. They are Han Li and Kyuhun, who have just arrived at Mo Dafu's hometown. Han Li travels to Lan Prefecture, facing a wolf pack en route but survives the encounter. Upon arriving in Jiayuan City, Han Li hires laborers to move his heavy baggage. Two dockworkers, Sun Ergo and Black Bear, are drawn to Han Li's wealth, and they plot to rob him. Han Li and Ku Han hire two porters at the pier but discover they intentionally lead them to a secluded area. A group of armed men suddenly appear, revealing themselves as Heishang and Sun Ergo, who plot to rob and kill them. Ku Han, under Han Li's command, strikes a blow that shatters a mont's skull, demonstrating his formidable strength. Sun Ergo offers a high reward to his men to kill Ku Han, but Ku Han handily defeats them. Heishang recognizes Ku Han's immense power and attempts to take Han Li hostage to escape. Han Li kills the Black Bear and effortlessly subdues more than 20 thugs. Sun Ergo bears witness to Han Li's ruthless methods, filling him with terror. Han Li orders his subordinate Ku Han to manage the scene and forces Sun Ergo to ingest a poison pill that requires periodic antidote consumption. Han Li announces his intent to take a respite and orders Sun Ergo to seek him out the following day to discuss matters. Han Li hands Sun Ergo a pouch of silver, instructing him to clean up the crime scene and ensure no traces remain. Sun Ergo solemnly promises Han Li that he will punctually visit the next morning to await orders. The Jingzhou Society has 64,000 ordinary members and over 7,000 core members. Its head office is located in Jiayuan City, and it is one of the three overlords of Lanzhou. The founder of the Jingzhou Society, Dr. Mo, has passed away, leaving a will that Zhao Dai the situation of the gang and his wife. The first wife, Ms. Jin, has passed away and has a daughter named Mo Yuzhu. The second wife, Ms. Li, has no children. The third wife, Ms. Lu, is Pola and has no children. She needs to be paid more attention to. The fourth wife, Ms. Yan, is calm and can be trusted. She has inherited most of the power. The fifth wife, Ms. Wang, is silent and holds a secret power. She can be absolutely trusted. The adopted daughter, Mo Fengwu, is smart. She was only 7 years old when her father passed away. Han Li holds drive, Mo's will, and is considering how to take over the Jingzhou Society or obtain the precious treasure. Han Li subdues the local ruffian Sun Ergo and learns that Sun Ergo is the steward of the Xicheng Siping gang. With 4 or 50 subordinates, Sun Ergo reveals that there are many gangs in Jiayuan City, with about 40 small gangs. 7 or 8 medium-sized gangs, and 3 large gangs. Jiayuan City is dominated by 3 factions: Brothers Alliance, Shocking Serpent Society, and Heaven Domination Sect. Shocking Serpent Society was once the overlord of Lan Prefecture, but fell into decline due to internal strife. It is now led by Lady Yan, the widow of the late Moju Ren. Moju Ren is rumored to be dead, and his closed-door disciple Wu Jianming brings the news of his death with a will. Wu Jianming is engaged to Mo Yuzu, and they are set to be wed. In front of the Mo residence, where security was tight, there was the Shang family restaurant opposite, famous for its signature wine by Li Shang. Han Li observed the Mo residence from the second floor of the restaurant and learned that the arranged marriage of the third young lady of the Mo family, Mo Yuzhu, had caused a stir, attracting many of her suitors to challenge her fiancé, Wu Gongzi. Han Li suspected that Wu Gongzi was a test sent by the adversary of Dr. Mo and considered how to gain access to the Mo family. A blue-clothed young man with a profound gaze sat at a neighboring table from Han Li, giving him an immense sense of pressure. Han Li realized that this person was a highly skilled cultivator. After the young man in blue finished his meal and left, Han Li felt relieved. In an alley, the young man in blue met up with a man in yellow and said that tasting the mortal food had delayed him. After escaping from his pursuers, Han Li was preparing to leave the tavern with an uneasy heart when he heard the sound of hooves belonging to Mo Yuzhu returning to the city. Han Li watched curiously. Mo Yuzhu was a highly skilled young lady from a wealthy family who loved to hunt. She returned with Wu Jianming, and Han Li was amazed by Mo Yuzhu's stunning beauty. Han Li was worried when he learned of the close relationship between Mo Yuzhu and Wu Jianming. He resolved to use Drive Mo's token to expose the impostor and gain the trust of the Mo family. In order to obtain the Warming Sun treasure jade, Han Li infiltrated the backyard of the Mo mansion at night, using his light-footed skill to evade the guards and enter without detection. He couldn't forget the beautiful face of Mo Yuzhu, but he comforted himself that he wouldn't fall in love. In the garden of the Mo manor, Han Li detects the scent of medicinal herbs. Surmising that the art of Dr. Mo has been passed down, Han Li evades the secret guards and infiltrates the 2-story building. Voices of women conversing are heard from within, and Han Li learns that they are the Yan mother and daughter. Yan is the acting head of the frightened Zhao society, but the Dark Helm is controlled by Mo Kaihuan. Mo Kaihuan complains about the 5th mismonopolization of the Dark Helm's power and hopes that Yan will reclaim it. Yan claims that she has no authority to interfere and that most of the Dark Helm's profits are handed over to the headquarters. Mo Kaihuan accuses Yan of still being infatuated with Dr. Mo and complains about the harassment of the impostor. Yan cautions Mo Kaihuan to be careful, as the impostor's identity has been exposed, but they need to buy time to prevent the enemy from launching a full-scale assault. The surgeon Mo from Mo Mansion and his wife Yan received a forged letter asking for their eldest daughter Yu Zhu to marry Wu Jianming. Yan was displeased but had to let Mo Kaihuan impersonate Yu Zhu to settle the matter for Mo Mansion and the Jingzhou meeting. Han Li overheard the mother-daughter conversation. Knowing that Surgeon Mo had been out for 10 years, he came to visit Yan with the token. Yan confirmed the token and asked Han Li for a handwritten letter. Han Li handed her the letter which he had prepared beforehand. Han Li receives a letter from Physician Mo, who claims to be his only disciple and who can be trusted. If the Mo Manor encounters trouble, Han Li can rescue them, and as a reward, he can marry the young lady of the Mo Manor, with the Warming Sun jade as her dowry. Han Li hands the letter to Madame Yan, who is worried and calls her 3 daughters to discuss. Han Li tells Madame Yan about his apprenticeship, omitting key information. Madame Yan is suspicious and speculates that Physician Mo is hiding something. Han Li denies it and claims to be unaware. The 3 daughters enter the room, 2 of whom are dignified and graceful, while the third one is stunningly beautiful. Han Li is briefly dazed when he sees the latter but is awakened by the coolness in his dantian. He speculates that her beauty might have the effect of captivating people's hearts. Han Li visits the wife of Dr. Mo and learns that Dr. Mo has a handwritten letter for him. Lady Yan passes around the letter, and all the ladies present have grave expressions before asking Han Li to leave. Dr. Mo's daughter, Mo Kairan, is then tasked with taking Han Li to the back of the manor to rest. Lady Yan warns Mo Kairan not to cause any trouble. 5 mistresses of the Mo Mansion gather to learn that Han Li has extraordinary willpower and spiritual power. They retrieve a secret letter to check on the whereabouts of the poisoned Mo physician. Mo Kaihuan demands a meeting gift from Han Li, who refuses. She threatens him, but he ignores her. Mo Kaihuan tried to use her pitiful act to make Han Li yield. But Han Li was immune to it. Han Li took out the Lingshang pill and gave it to Mo Kaihuan, who suspected it was a love potion. After Mo Kaihuan confirmed that the pill was safe, she agreed to help Han Li solve his problems in the Mo residence. However, she requested a payment from Han Li. After Han Li took up residence in the back house of the Mo mansion, he dared not go to sleep peacefully. The next day, Han Li was summoned by Yan Jie, who was curious about Han Li affairs and mentioned the Black Jade Pearl along the way. Han Li and Yan Jie met the Black Jade Pearl in Wu Jianming, and Yan Jie became obsessed with the Black Jade Pearl. While Wu Jianming ignored Han Li, Yan Jie talked about his affection for the Black Jade Pearl, and Han Li offered consolation. Yan Jie mocked his feelings for the Black Jade Pearl, surprising Han Li. Han Li and Yan Jie went to the designated small building, where several of Dr. Mo's wives prepared to greet Han Li. Yan Jie stopped downstairs and Han Li went upstairs alone. The women, including Yan, were in mourning clothes and stared at Han Li. Mrs. Li questioned Han Li about the cause of Dr. Mo's death. Han Li explained that Dr. Mo might have committed suicide or he might have killed him. Mrs. Li was furious. Mrs. Wang asked Han Li to tell them the story of how Drive Mo was killed, framed by the Mo family. Han Li decides to forcefully demand the warming sun jade. The women belittle Han Li, but he demonstrates his fireball technique, forcing them to acknowledge him as a cultivator. The second wife reveals that many in Jiayuan City are aware of cultivators, and Master Mo has witnessed a fight. Han Li discovers a drugging mechanism in the candles, but he is confident he has a countermeasure. The women's faces turn pale as they realize Han Li's secret. Waiting for the drug to take effect, Han Li exposes the women's incense trick and claims that he is indifferent to the poisons in his body. Fourth, Madame Yan suggests negotiating, proposing to discuss the truth behind Drive Mo's death. Han Li recounts the events leading to Dr. Mo's murder, presenting himself as the victim. Yan acknowledges that Yu Zitong is primarily responsible for Dr. Mo's death and exonerates Han Li from full responsibility. Yan reveals the impending threat of extermination faced by the Mo family, and implores Han Li for assistance. Han Li negotiates with the women of the Mo family for the Radiant Jade. The Mo family offers conditions. Han Li must destroy the five-colored sect and the monarch's stronghold, in exchange for the jade and being allowed to marry one of them. Han Li refuses, stating that immortals cannot kill mortals at will, as the consequences would be severe. Han Li proposes two alternatives. 1. The Mo family leaves Lan province and Han Li guarantees their safety, keeping them out of the conflict. 2. Han Li will delay his request for the jade, but the Mo family must remain neutral, allowing Han Li to retrieve it whenever he desires. Han Li proposed two solutions to Yan Shi and the other women to resolve the issue between the two factions: either eliminate the leader of one of the factions or accept Han Li's assistance. Yan Shi and the other women stated that they needed to consult with each other, but they would provide a response by tomorrow morning at the latest. Han Li agreed to this. Sun Ergo reported to Han Li about rumors of a gathering of immortals that was to take place near Jiayu City, where attendees could ascend to immortality. Upon hearing this news, Han Li was elated, as he realized that this was an excellent opportunity for him to gain exposure to the world of immortal cultivators. He inquired with Sun Ergo about the specific time and location of the gathering, but Sun Ergo had not obtained that information. Sun Ergo provides limited information and is unaware of the meeting time of the Seping gang. Han Li learns that Sun Ergo desires power and proposes to make him the leader of the Seping gang. Sun Ergo hesitates but eventually agrees, providing the leader's absence schedule. Han Li plans to directly kill the members of the Seping gang rather than subduing them. Han Li assigns Ku Hun to help Sun Ergo assume the position of the gang leader. Han Li stresses that Sun Ergo must deliver the man who met the divine man and woman to him. Han Li assigns the Cloudwing Bird to monitor Sun Ergo, preventing his escape. Shen Zhongshan, the boss of the Seping gang, harasses the star courtesan, Miss Jinji, at the Shaoshang courtesan house. The three guardians of the Seping gang, Crazy Fist Qian Jin, Poison Scholar Fan Zhu, and Flying Dagger Shen San pressure Jinji. Jinji feigns reluctance, stating that she needs permission from the proprietress of the Shaoshang courtesan house, Granny Wang, before serving any customers. The Seping gang once asked Granny Wang about the price of a night with Jinji, but were met with an exorbitant demand, and thus the negotiations failed. Shen Zhongshan boasts that he has closed a major business deal and doesn't lack money, promising to pay for Jinji's freedom. Someone knocks at the door to deliver wine, and the members of the Seping gang let them in without hesitation. Shen San suspects that the errand boy delivering food is posing as someone else, but Shen Zhongshan and others reject his claim. Poisonous scholar Fan Ju suggests that the boy should taste the wine and food to prove its safety. The boy eats and drinks the food without any ill effects, and Shen San relaxes his vigilance. Fan Ju, who knows that the boy is a killer, is smug about his method of testing the poison. Unexpectedly, someone in the room is suddenly poisoned to death, including Shen Zhongshan and Fan Ju. Han Li rejects Yan's request to eliminate the leaders of the five-colored sect in the Lone Mountain Manor. Yan offers to marry the three Mo sisters to Han Li, but Han Li declines due to concerns about potential troubles. Yan finally agrees to allow Han Li to kill the Lone Mountain Manor master, Ouyang Fei Tian, in exchange for the antidote to the Warm Sun Jade's poison. Yan reveals that Ouyang Fei Tian is the mastermind behind Wu Jianming's infiltration of the Jade Python Society. Ouyang Fei Tian holds a grudge against the Jade Python Society and intends to eliminate it before targeting the five-colored sect. Yan Shi stops the other madams from taking the medicine, and Han Li agrees. Han Li finds out that Mo Fengwu is interested in medicine, and he agrees to give her his father's posthumous works. Han Li leaves the Mo Manor, and Sun Ergo and another person are waiting for him at the inn. Shi Tai Niu recollects the goddess mentioning Tainan Valley. Sun Ergo knows that there is a Tainan temple in Lan Prefecture built in Tainan Mountain, but there is no place name for Tainan Valley. Han Li thinks that Tainan Valley may be the permanent residence of an immortal cultivator, located near Tainan Mountain in the south of Lan Prefecture. To fulfill his promise, Han Li makes Shi Tai Niu the deputy leader and cures Sun Ergo of his poison. Han Li leaves the soul curse with Sun Ergo to avoid trouble. Han Li sets out on a journey and disappears without a trace 2 months after leaving Jiayuan City. Guanggu City is located south of Lanzhou, famous for its beautiful scenery and rare fruits. On the Tainan Mountain, there is a temple which is well known for its effective divination, attracting rich and influential families to burn incense there. Han Li cured the cold poison in his body at the foot of Tainan Mountain and obtained a piece of verdant yang jade which can hold spiritual qi. After killing Ouyang Feitian and decapitating him in exchange for an antidote, Han Li came to Tainan Mountain to find a cultivator. Instructed by a villager, Han Li discovered a hillside in the north of Tainan Mountain that was shrouded in fog all year round. One would lose their way once they entered, but they could leave the fog after exhaustion and hunger. Cultivation Realm Division Lower Realm Qi Refining, Foundation Establishment, Core Condensation, Nascent Soul, Soul Transformation, Middle Realm Void Refining, Integration, Great Ascension, Upper Realm Tribulation Lightning, Shi Guo's Cultivation Sect Shadow Moon Sect, Yellow Maple Valley, Spirit Beast Mountain, Clarity Gate, Blade Transformation Fort, Skyrise Citadel, Giant Sword Gate, Shadow Moon Sect being the strongest. Cultivation Clan's Descendants of Cultivation Sect Disciples, relying on the sect for survival. Spirit Root Cultivation Aptitude, divided into 5 elemental properties: metal, wood, water, fire, earth. Pseudo-spirit root mixed with 5 or 4 properties. Cultivates slowly. True spirit root 2 to 3 properties. Cultivates moderately. Heavenly root single property. Cultivates extremely quickly. No bottleneck when progressing to core condensation realm. Wan Zhaoshan, a young man from the immortal cultivation world, encounters Han Li and learns that Han Li is a rogue cultivator. Wan Zhaoshan's family does not discriminate against rogue cultivators because their ancestors were also rogue cultivators. Wan Zhaoshan informs Han Li that the Tainan Valley will be hosting the Tainan Gathering, a grand trading event for Shoujun practitioners in Lan Province. Unbeknownst to Wan Zhaoshan, Han Li has no intention of participating in the gathering. Han Li is simply looking to meet other Shoujun practitioners and has no items to trade. Han Li encounters Elder Qingyan at the Tainan Grand Meeting and learns that Elder Qingyan is an honorable elder of Tainan Valley and that there is a matter concerning him at Wan Zhaoshan's residence. Elder Qingyan implies that Han Li has malicious intentions in approaching Wan Zhaoshan. Han Li is forced to leave. Han Li visits the market square and finds the unique lighting from white stones used by the immortal cultivator's stalls quite curious. The market square is bustling with activity as new stalls and crowds of people continue to pour in. At a trading fair, Han Li had a chance encounter with a group of self-proclaimed rogue cultivators, including Pine Pattern Taoist, Black Wood and Black Gold Brothers, Scarlet Lotus Hermit, Master Bitter Apricot, Hu Ping Gu, and Bear Dolly. The rogue cultivators plan to form an alliance for mutual protection against bullying by immortal cultivation clans. And they invited Han Li to join them. When Han Li learned that the rogue cultivators were quite skilled and respected each other's freedom, he agreed to join. There were 2 more people in the group who had not joined yet. One was addicted to sleep, and the other loved to travel. But Pine Pattern Taoist stated that they were also unique in their own ways. Spirit stones, containing rich spiritual energy, are used as currency among cultivators and are crucial for accelerating cultivation, casting spells, and setting up formations. Spirit stones are classified into 4 grades based on their spiritual energy content, and into 5 elemental spirit stones plus rare wind and thunder spirit stones based on their attributes. Spirit stones increase in value and rarity, becoming a luxury as they are overmined, and are a valuable medium for cultivator transactions. Han Li has no spirit stones, but has acquired an interest in talisman papers and spirit talismans, particularly a concentration talisman paper that can enhance strength. Han Li notes the inferior quality of his diamond talisman compared to the new item on display and reflects on his poverty. Han Li observes a high-grade junior-level flight talisman but realizes that he cannot afford it with only his small sword talisman. Han Li Yellow Dragon Pill and Golden Marrow Pill failed to exchange for a flight talisman. But after learning that several more bottles of pills could be exchanged, Han Li made a request. The young man readily agreed, exchanging flight talismans, talisman papers, and spellbooks for Han Li pills. Han Li was very satisfied with the spellbooks he received, as they contained the basic spell casting techniques he needed. Han Li went to the forbidden area and found it protected by a blue light barrier. He cast the Heavenly Eye technique and saw that the blue light was defensive. Han Li used the talisman given to him by the blue-striped Taoist to enter the forbidden area, after which the blue light barrier returned to its original state. Wu Juji, a cultivator who uses his martial arts skills to steal, is exposed by Han Li on the spot. The green-striped Taoist advises Wu Juji not to steal from fellow practitioners to avoid trouble. Wu Juji promises not to use his thieving skills at the conference, and the grudges between them are resolved. The green-striped Taoist calls everyone together to discuss setting up stalls and plans to make a move together before the Tainan conference ends. Rising Immortal Assembly is a grand event held in Yue Country every 10 years, providing an excellent opportunity for young cultivators to join the 7 great sects. Cultivators must consume a foundation establishment pill to break through the qi condensation stage and enter the foundation establishment stage. Foundation establishment pills are refined by great sects and are scarce in number. In order to meet the demands of rogue cultivators, the great sects hold the Rising Immortal Assembly, a tournament where the most talented rogue cultivators are selected. Victors are granted the qualification to join the 7 great sects and receive a foundation establishment pill, allowing them to embark on the path of immortal cultivation. Each assembly offers 70 places, attracting countless cultivators. Ascension ceremony entry requirements: elementary phase level 7 or higher in the 5 elements basic technique. Under 40 years old, the Ascension ceremony is extremely competitive and draws many aspiring participants, offering them a chance to scout out opponents. Outcomes hinge not only on magical power, but also on the use of spells, artifacts, and talismans. The Ascension ceremony features 7 arenas, representing the 7 major immortal sects, which use a 2-win system to select new disciples. In the previous competition, over 10 level 10 and above masters died, resulting in a high death toll. Super talents at elementary phase level 11 also enter the arena in hopes of circumventing the family's fruitless cultivation and directly qualifying for a foundation establishment pill via the Ascension ceremony. The use of elixirs to elevate realms is a common practice, but major sects typically only accept disciples with exceptional aptitude, so these super talents opt for an alternative path. Han Li temporarily decides against joining the rogue cultivator squad, and has other plans. Han Li asks the monk, Master Kusong, about the materials and tools needed for drawing spirit sigils. He learns that special talisman paper and cinnabar are essential, and that a paintbrush can be made using the fur of a spirit beast. Han Li goes to a trading fair to find a spirit sigil brush and cinnabar, and accidentally witnesses the Yan family's spirit beast, two-headed duck. Han Li discovers a bookstall at the trading fair that has everlasting spring technique, a basic wood attribute cultivation technique, for 2 low-grade spirit stones. A young woman sells the Changchun technique for 2 spirit stones. Han Li swaps Wanlong core fortifying pills for the Changchun technique and 7-star grass seeds. The young woman promises to provide him with an exquisite brush made from the golden-eyed ape's neck hair, under the condition that Han Li supplies her with enough medicinal pills. Han Li successfully bartered for a golden bamboo pen and 7-star grass seeds and began to draw mind-calming charms. His first attempt failed, and after failing to draw 12 consecutive sheets of talisman paper, Han Li felt frustrated. The little monk explained that talisman creation was a difficult and expensive technique, and that it was common for beginners to fail hundreds of times. Even talisman makers cultivated by major sects could only produce elementary talismans. Cinnabar and talisman paper sold at stalls were suitable for talisman techniques, which required activation by incantation to take effect. Unlike talismans that stored spells, Han Li learns elementary spells such as incognito art, sound transmission art, flowing sand art, and freezing art. The Taonan meeting trades reach their peak and Han Li finds that he is at the intermediate level of Taoist. A magic tool fragment draws crowds on the plaza as the crowd competes for it. The stall owner is a Yi family disciple, and the magic tool fragment has invisibility effects without obstructing the passage of spirit energy. Black Han demonstrates the effects of the magic tool fragment using a gold-eater mouse, and the crowd is astounded. A burly man attempts to purchase a talisman fragment, but the stall owner declines due to the seller's affiliation with the Yi family. A gray-robed individual offers 10 spirit stones, which the burly man rejects. The price is raised to 20 spirit stones, and a round-faced youth makes an offer, later admitting he has none. Han Li appears, expressing interest in the talisman fragment and offering to trade flying talismans in exchange. Han Li acquired a fragment of spirit-absorbing cloth in exchange for a flying talisman. The people in the market disapproved of the trade, deeming the fragment useless. A round-faced youth expressed gratitude to Han Li for previous help and presented him with a miscellaneous record called the Annals of Qingxi, containing secrets and legends. The Annals of Qingxi mentioned the Celestial Ascension Order, issued by the 7 great immortal sects to meritorious cultivation families. The holder of the Celestial Ascension Order would receive a Foundation Establishment Pill and be eligible to join an immortal sect, equivalent to winning the Immortal Ascension Gathering. Han Li recalled the Celestial Ascension Order token he possessed, suspecting its connection to the one mentioned in the Annals of Qingxi. Upon obtaining the Ascension token, Han Li becomes filled with excitement and begins planning his journey to the Yellow Maple Valley to become a disciple. After the end of the Taonan Small Assembly, Han Li declines the invitation to travel with Taoist Qing Wen and others. Han Li discovers that Taoist Qing Wen had left medicine powder on him, and secretly leaves the Taonan Valley. Han Li's unusual actions arouse the suspicion of his pursuers. Han Li is ambushed with an ice pick and counterattacks with 5 consecutive shots, forcing the yellow-robed man to appear. The yellow-robed man refuses to reveal the reason for the ambush and treacherously grabs Han Li by the feet. Han Li was ambushed by a large man and a man in yellow. Han Li dodged the black rope attack of a large man and focused on dealing with the green gourd of the man in yellow. The black rope of the big man wrapped around Han Li, and Han Li used the Jin Gang Fu Diamond Talisman to form a golden shield for defense. Han Li used the talisman spell, and the ground became quicksand trapping the big man. The man in yellow used the gourd to spit out a ball to attack Han Li's golden shield. Han Li used the wooden box to release the gray light talisman, which broke the ball. The man in yellow exclaimed talisman, and the big man was afraid of the talisman and fled. Jianzhou is located in the northern part of Yue, a land of mountains, rivers and hills, sparsely populated, and bordering on Yuanwu. Mount Taiyue covers its west side. Wangfeng Valley, one of the 7 great Shenxia factions, occupies the central part of Mt. Taiyue, with a large formation to conceal it, with numerous towers and Shenxia practitioners inside. Zhang Lingdao, master of the Wangfeng Valley, presides over a hall meeting to discuss the distribution of Foundation establishment pills. Elder Yi disapproves of the cancellation of the Foundation establishment pill for his grandnephew. Middle-aged scholar Maram Shan explains that one Foundation establishment pill must be surrendered because someone with a rising celestial order has entered the valley, and points out that Elder Ye's grandnephew was ranked lower in the test. Elder Yi is unconvinced, stating that there were others ranked lower, and inquires about exceptions. Zhang Lingdao explains that one exception is the descendants of senior uncle Hanfu, who cannot be denied the qualification for the Foundation establishment pill. An elder of the Yi clan, the Yi family, wants to exchange something to get Han Li to give up the Foundation establishment pill. The head, Zhang Lingdao, agrees with the elder to talk to Han Li about the exchange, but forbids the use of aggressive means. The elder and his junior, Wang, find Han Li and tell him that the Yellow Maple Valley agrees to let him join and give him the pill. Han Li is excited and shows his desire for the pill. The elder asks to talk to Han Li privately, and Wang steps back. Han Li possesses the precious Foundation establishment pill, which attracts the attention of an elder surnamed Yi who offers spirit stones and magical artifacts in exchange. The elder believes that Han Li's EG is mediocre and his chances of forming a foundation are slim. He advises Han Li to trade the pill for more practical benefits. Han Li weighs the pros and cons. He is reluctant to give up the chance to establish a foundation, but he also doesn't want to offend the elder. He inquires about the intended use of the pill. The elder reveals that the pill is for his grandnephew, and Han Li realizes the consequences of angering him. He decides to rent Tong Gi. The elder promises Han Li the freedom to choose any manual labor within the valley. Ultimately, Han Li agrees to exchange the pill for the task of cultivating. Han Li arrives at the Yellow Maple Valley with the Immortal Ascension Order and is recognized by the headmaster, Zhang Lingdao. Han Li gives up taking the Foundation establishment pill, allowing a nephew of an elder surnamed Yu to take it. Zhang Lingdao takes Han Li as a disciple and arranges for his junior disciple, Wang, to teach him the valley's rules and introduce him to the basics. The Yellow Maple Valley has many disciples, the majority of whom are at the Qi condensation stage, while only a few hundred are at the Foundation establishment stage. Core formation stage cultivators are rare, and there is only one nascent soul stage cultivator, the master uncle, who is usually not in the valley. Han Li follows Uncle Wang to an unoccupied disciple's dwelling. Uncle Wang asks Junior Lin for new disciple items. Junior Lin carves a small monkey and questions Han Li qualifications. Uncle Wang explains Han Li entered the valley due to the Immortal Ascension Order, giving up the Foundation establishment pill. Junior Lin expresses admiration for Han Li path of sacrifice. Junior Lin uses magic to retrieve items, including a yellow silk shirt, a green leaf magic weapon, tools, and weapons. Han Li joined the Yellow Maple Valley sect and kept the congratulatory remarks in his heart. Uncle Wang took Han Li to the Hall of Inheritance, where he met the disciple Wu Feng, who was in charge of cultivation techniques. Uncle Wang conscientiously took Han Li to visit important people, and Han Li learned that he could move to the profound Kun Mountain after reaching the 10th level of cultivation. Han Li used a flying magic weapon for the first time and was excited to fly to the 100 Machine Hall. At the 100 Machine Hall, Han Li wanted to take on the miscellaneous task of planting, and even though it could be delayed, he still showed enthusiasm. Han Li accepts a daunting mission to manage the 100 Herb Garden in Greenstone Ridge, a task that has defeated previous candidates. Despite warnings from others, Han Li learns more about the difficulty of the mission and decides to take it on. The head of the 100 Apparatus Hall, Hall Master Yi, shows unusual enthusiasm for his application and takes him to review relevant documents. Hall Master Yi proposes a delay in the delivery of the items for the Foundation establishment pill transaction, which Han Li reluctantly agrees to, though he is inwardly upset. Despite Hall Master Yi's denial of any intention to break the agreement, Han Li is forced to give a perfunctory response, inwardly cursing his adversary's shamelessness. Han Li, angered by Senior Marshal Uncle Yi pilfering his items, accepts the brutal realities of the cultivation world. He arrives at the 100 Herb Garden, and enters through the restriction, where he encounters its eccentric owner, Senior Marshal Uncle Ma. Senior Marshal Uncle Ma questions Han Li's abilities, demanding him to identify the garden's herbs, where Han Li accurately names a 10th of them. To Senior Marshal Uncle Ma's surprise, Senior Marshal Uncle Ma leaves the garden's management to Han Li, providing him with a restriction token and his insights on cultivating the herbs. Senior Marshal Uncle Ma hopes Han Li excels in his work, but warns him to leave if he fails. Han Li finds Senior Marshal Uncle Ma more trustworthy than Senior Marshal Uncle Yi. Han Li acquires mid-level spirit stones and free Foundation establishment magical artifacts. The artifacts include a self-targeting ring, a triangular banner that creates a dark mist, and a brass bottle that can store spiritual power. Han Li verifies that the mysterious green liquid is not simple spiritual energy but something more complex. Han Li decides to cultivate in seclusion for several years, understanding the valley's circumstances, then look for better pill recipes. Han Li uses diluted green liquid to ripen medicinal herbs. Completing Master Ma's task, Han Li learns basic spells from senior brother Chuan Gong and cultivates diligently. 7 years later, Huangfeng Valley welcomes new disciples, including the brothers with rare spirit roots that include thunder. Among the new disciples, there is a young Li who progresses rapidly in his foundational techniques, and a young Wang who possesses the profound yin eye. Han Li traveled to the Yue Temple on Mount Witch Junction in search of information regarding magic tools, pill concocting formulas, and secret techniques. This is the Yellow Maple Valley's primary collection and an important source of cultivation resources and tools. On his way to a private chamber, Han Li encountered 2 Foundation establishment red-robed disciples. They questioned Han Li's identity, but he produced a vouching token from Elder Ma, allowing him entry. The 2 red-robed disciples were surprised by Han Li's background, as Elder Ma did not usually grant his formulas so easily. Han Li had previously agreed to look after Elder Ma's medicine garden for a year in exchange for the formulas. Having passed the verifications by the red-robed disciples, Han Li was finally allowed inside the Yue Temple. However, he was puzzled to find nothing inside except a small Dharma formation after passing through a scarlet light screen. Afterward, the red-robed disciples informed him that he would have to present a token every time he wished to enter the Yue Temple. As per the temple's rules, Han Li is in a great hall transformed from a peculiar stalactite cave, with 3 passages leading to weapon, pills, and unnamed, respectively. He enters the pills passage and encounters an old man surnamed Shu with a ruddy complexion, who informs him that he can borrow pill recipes and books for a fee. Han Li finds the second-floor reading room to be quite simple, with only a small number of old books, bamboo slips, and jade slips, leaving him disappointed. While in a secret chamber, Han Li discovers a method for refining Foundation establishment pills, but the process requires the innate Truefire, an ability only acquired after establishing a foundation. The second jade slip contains the recipe for the age-defying pill, which grants everlasting youth and unchanging appearance, but is useless to cultivators. Han Li initially intends to copy the Foundation establishment pill recipe, but upon recollecting that the age-defying pill can be sold to other cultivators, he decides to copy its recipe instead. As Han Li exits the scripture repository, he inquires about the secret repository of pill formulas with the old man, who feigns ignorance and demands compensation. Han Li pressures the old man into revealing the location of the repository by threatening to only copy 2 jade slips, ultimately obtaining the answer for free. Han Li wanted to purchase a pill furnace, and he learned that earth fire can be used instead of innate true fire to refine pills, increasing the pill success rate. Earth lung fire is commonly used in the cultivation world to refine pills and artifacts, resulting in higher efficiency. The profound sun earth fire in Yulu Hall can be borrowed, and only spirit stones are required. Elder Shu took out his prized high-grade pill furnace and recommended it to Han Li, stating the identity of the great master in his collection. Han Li selected a pill furnace, and Elder Shu strongly promoted it, praising its ability to absorb high temperatures and increase the pill success rate. The Morong brothers demonstrate their thunderclap strike on the mountaintop, drawing an audience. Han Li marvels at the thunderclap strike's might and envies the brothers' spirit roots. Senior brother Lu appears, claiming to have an arcane spirit root and belittling thunder spirit roots. He issues a challenge, asking the Morong brothers to use their thunderclap strike against him. While he refrains from dodging, the brothers execute the Sky Thunder chain attack, with the first bolt piercing senior brother Lu's defenses. The young man casts the Azure Arc Slash, forcing the Morong brothers to flee separately. Marshal Sister Ni, a young lady in an ornate dress, intervenes and saves one of the brothers. Marshall's sister Ni chastises the Morong brothers and expresses gratitude for the stout young Mont's assistance, attracting the envy of Marshall brother Lu. Marshall's sister Ni cautions Han Li against remaining aloof, causing Han Li to fall into contemplation. Han Li decides to refine the appearance retention pill, using 1,000-year-old medicinal herbs as raw materials. Han Li asks senior brother Ma about the main medicinal ingredient for Foundation Establishment pill, and senior brother Ma tells him that these herbs do not have seeds and cannot be cultivated. Han Li has doubts about senior brother Ma's words and plans to find the seedlings of the medicinal herbs and cultivate them. Han Li consults with senior brother Wu Feng, but gets no clues. Han Li prepares to seek help from the greedy old man to obtain information about the medicinal herbs. The main ingredient for the Foundation Establishment pill, Jade Spirit Mushroom, has become scarce in the cultivation world and only exists in a forbidden land. After 5 years of breaking the ban on the forbidden land, sects like the Yellow Maple Valley sent Qi refining stage disciples to collect the herbs. But the competition was fierce and dangerous, resulting in a high mortality rate. The Yellow Maple Valley offered generous rewards to encourage participation in the Forbidden Land expedition. But due to the high mortality rate, sign-ups were low. Han Li, upon learning of the dangers of the Forbidden Land, felt that he could not bear the risk. Han Li risks his life to participate in a blood trial in order to build a foundation. After preparation, Han Li decides to learn the art of restraining his breath in order to strengthen himself. Han Li plans to sell his cultivated herbs for spirit stones in order to buy magic weapons and talismans. Wangfeng Valley Market is located in a remote area. It is divided into 2 sections, north and south. The south is occupied by official stalls and guarded monks, while the north is set aside for itinerant cultivators to set up shop. In order to avoid trouble, Han Li enters the market from the north and wears a hooded cloak to conceal his face. There are few pedestrians in the market. Han Li first browses the stalls, but after finding nothing of value, he moves into the larger shops. Wanbao Building is the largest in the market. Han Li requests to view the finest magical tools and talismans and is led to a private room. The private room is furnished elegantly, and a middle-aged shopkeeper named Tian Boli attends to Han Li. He introduces himself as Li Feiyu. Shopkeeper Tian introduces the following magic tools. Gold centipedes. They can control 8 children's centipedes to attack the enemy at the same time. Black iron flying shield, a defensive magic tool. It activates automatically to defend around the user. Han Li tried out the black iron flying shield and was very satisfied. He asked the shopkeeper if he could purchase it. Shopkeeper Tian then introduces the following. Thunderbolts. They are very powerful and can kill Foundation Establishment cultivators. Counterman Tian seeks confirmation of the authenticity of the Millennium Herb from Senior Manager Ding of 10,000 Treasures Pavilion. Senior Manager Ding verifies the herb as a Millennium Yellow Essence Mushroom, and its medicinal properties are intact. Han Li negotiates a trade with Counterman Tian, who proposes exchanging the herb for 2 treasures or spirit stones. Counterman Tian reveals 10,000 Treasures Pavilion's prized possession, a talisman depicting a golden brick. Han Li inquires about the talisman's information, and Counterman Tian explains its nature and uses. The talisman is created by cultivators in the core formation stage and above, and it can seal a portion of a magic treasure's power for use by other cultivators. Han Li learns about the uses of talisman treasures at the Myriad Treasures Tower and becomes interested in the golden light brick talisman treasure in the brocade box. Shopkeeper Tian offers to exchange the talisman treasure for Han Li 1,000-year-old spirit herbs. But Han Li hesitates. Han Li eventually decides to exchange 2,000-year-old spirit herbs for all the treasures in the brocade box, and shopkeeper Tian agrees. Han Li leaves the Myriad Treasures Tower, carefully avoids being followed by experts, and takes a detour to return to the Yellow Maple Valley. Han Li encounters a man and a woman in a cave on the outskirts of the Taiyue Mountains. The man is preparing to assault the woman, and the content of his words shocks Han Li. The man's voice sounds familiar, and Han Li moves closer to the entrance of the cave to eavesdrop out of curiosity. Senior brother Lu found a small mahogany box carried by junior sister Chen. Its content unknown. Han Li hid and eavesdropped on senior brother Lu's soliloquy, learning that he planned to abandon junior sister Chen and claim her Foundation Establishment pill an opportunity. Junior sister Chen was immobilized by the wind-binding technique and could not move. Forced to listen to her senior brother's cruel and heartless words, realizing that her life was in danger, Senior brother Lu took out the small wooden box and a green porcelain bottle, both containing Foundation establishment pills. Han Li's mind raced, planning to seize the pills when senior brother Lu showed an opening. Under the influence of the aphrodisia pill, junior sister Chen's expression became entranced. Her skin flushed pink. Han Li launched an attack with his magical artifact, but it was easily neutralized by senior brother Lu's Azure Serpent banner. Senior brother Lu prepared to counterattack. Wielding his Azure Serpent banner which emitted a blinding blue light, Han Li conjured up a steel ring, a shield, and a blue light barrier to create 3 layers of defense. Han Li used the small gray sword talisman to defend against the wind blades launched by senior brother Lu's Azure Serpent banner. But the outer steel ring defense was destroyed. Senior brother Lu then launched a continuous stream of wind blades, shattering the steel ring, which was blocked by the black iron shield. Senior brother Lu exhausted his spiritual power and used the Azure Serpent banner's ultimate move, throwing the banner into the air and pinching his fingers. Han Li and senior brother Lu battled fiercely, utilizing their magical artifacts to the fullest, resulting in a stalemate. To replenish spiritual energy, Han Li used an intermediate earth attribute spirit stone, while senior brother Lu used a low-grade wind attribute spirit stone, giving Han Li the advantage in spiritual energy supply. Han Li withdrew his protective barrier, putting himself at risk to distract senior brother Lu. The giant sword seized the opportunity to attack senior brother Lu, forcing him to recall the Azure Serpent for defense. Han Li consumed an herb to replenish his spiritual energy, which worried senior brother Lu. As time passed, senior brother Lu's Azure Serpent grew weaker, while Han Li's giant sword remained formidable, causing senior brother Lu to panic. Han Li's strategy succeeded, with the giant sword defeating the Azure Serpent. Senior brother Lu, filled with despair, questioned Han Li's profound cultivation. Han Li sneered, uninterested in explaining, and directly used the giant sword to destroy the Azure Serpent. Preparing to eliminate senior brother Lu, Han Li's talisman is destroyed, and he is heartbroken. He obtains the Azure Serpent banner, which compensates for his loss. Han Li takes a pill that causes a backlash, resulting in a piercing pain in his dantian. He cancels his defense spell to save magic power and ultimately wins. He finds senior Lu's storage bag and obtains a Foundation establishment pill. Han Li encounters a woman in the throes of passion and determines that she has consumed a Huan pill. Han Li deliberates whether to kill the woman but chooses to spare her out of compassion. Han Li engages in relations with the woman in exchange for her debt and administers the cleansing spirit powder to cure her. Han Li disposes of Elder Lu's corpse and conceals any traces, leaving with the woman. Upon his return to the valley, Han Li secludes himself for 3 days to expel the foreign object from his dantian. Suffering significant chi depletion, Han Li acquires Elder Lu's Foundation establishment pill and safeguards it. In the northern part of Jianzhou, dozens of disciples from the Yellow Maple Valley prepare for the blood trial. Han Li joins the trial team, but he has 2 Foundation establishment pills and must choose between taking them and participating in the trial. Taking the Foundation establishment pills requires 3 months of seclusion, which will delay Han Li's participation in the trial. Yellow Maple Valley announces that the Forbidden Zone will be closed for 60 years in 5 years' time, forcing Han Li to obtain Foundation establishment pills in the blood trial. The frequent opening of the Forbidden Zone by the 7 immortal sects has led to a depletion of spiritual herbs. But they cannot close the Forbidden Zone indefinitely to allow the spiritual herbs to replenish. The 7 immortal sects are thus searching for alternative sources of spiritual herbs to ensure the continuation of their sects. Han Li uses a lie to conceal his true cultivation speed, claiming to have consumed the immortal fruit dragon scale fruit. Uncle Master Wang is half convinced but urges Han Li to participate in the Forbidden Zone trial as a precaution. Han Li leaves his medicinal garden duties to prepare for the trial and unexpectedly receives medicine from an old man. Before the Forbidden Zone trial, Han Li reunites with junior sister Chen, who was once assaulted by senior brother Lu, and discovers that she has become aloof and distant. Han Li becomes aware of the ruthlessness of the cultivation world and resolves to remain low-key and cautious to avoid danger. After encouraging her disciples, Sect Master Zhang Lingdao distributes mid-level spirit stones and allows them to draw high-grade magic tools from their storage pouches. An ascendant cultivator named Grandmaster Li arrives and leads the disciples, including Han Li, to the forbidden area. Grandmaster Li controls a gigantic silver-armored horned python to fly. The flight is extremely fast, and they arrive at an unnamed deserted mountain 2 days later. Han Li declines an offer from 2 fellow disciples to explore the forbidden grounds as a team. Believing that the disadvantages of an alliance outweigh the advantages, Chen and another female disciple gather a following of arrogant disciples, which Han Li finds off-putting. While waiting for the other immortal sects, Han Li finds Chen standing uncomfortably close to him, making him feel awkward and out of place. Abruptly, a shimmering object appears in the sky, causing a stir among the crowd, revealing it to be the flying artifact Snow Rainbow Sash of the Pure Void sect. In a gamble, the Taoist priest and Grandmaster Li compete for the Bloodline Serpent's inner core. The Bloodline Serpent's inner core is renowned as a rare elixir that possesses immense potential to elevate a cultivator's abilities. The Taoist priest claims to have obtained this precious elixir and uses it to wager against Grandmaster Li. The terms of their gamble are to see who can gather the most and highest quality spiritual herbs, as well as who can return from the forbidden ground with the most survivors. However, just as the two seal their agreement with a handshake, an enigmatic figure named Chong makes an unexpected appearance. Chong is a legendary figure in the world of immortal cultivation. A skilled master from the Hidden Moon sect known for his high cultivation level and penchant for tricking other cultivators. Chong's sudden insertion into the gamble complicates the situation. He proposes raising the stakes by offering to lose the bet should both Grandmaster Li and the Taoist priest's collective results surpass his Hidden Moon sect. However, Chong's wager is 3 powerful talismans, which stirs greed within Grandmaster Li and the Taoist priest. The invisible needle is a concealed treasure that can inflict harm, which even nascent soul cultivators find difficult to deal with. Grandmaster Li and the Taoist priest placed a wager with Senior Chong over the results of their disciples' trial in the Blood Forbidden Zone. Senior Chong believed that various sects were concealing disciples with good talent and preventing them from participating in the dangerous trial, which was unfair. Grandmaster Li candidly stated that the cultivation world emphasized survival of the fittest, and this principle applied to both righteous and evil sects, with low-level cultivators being treated as ants. The 7 sects of the state of Yue were neither righteous nor evil. They were neutral sects whose cultivation methods originated from the spoils of war from the ancient righteous-evil conflict. Han Li contemplates refusing Grandmaster Li guidance, fearing the exposure of secrets and his own safety. The Yellow Maple Valley disciples crave guidance and opportunities from mentors, preparing for a conflict with the Clear Void sect. Clear Void sect Taoists rally their followers, but some of the elder Taoists remain calm. The Sky Moon vessel of the Shadow Moon sect appears, led by the alluring fairy Yemo. Forefather Kong exhibits great confidence, predicting victory, causing concern for Grandmaster Li and the Taoists. Fairy Yemo speaks gracefully, obscuring the Shadow Moon sect's advantages. The male disciples of Yellow Maple Valley are smitten with the female disciples of the Shadow Moon sect, but the female disciples retaliate with fierce glares, protecting the men beside them. Han Li notices the Shadow Moon sect female disciples being more provocative towards the Clear Void sect Taoists, speculating that the Shadow Moon sect's youth and beauty may play a role in the battle. Han Li cautiously examines the experts from each sect, avoiding direct confrontation with powerful enemies. He recognizes a female disciple from Spirit Beast Mountain in the crowd and develops an interest in her. A mustachioed man warns the female disciple to stay away from Han Li, who taunts him with a grimace. The 7 masters of the sects finish their consultation and lead their disciples to fly towards the Forbidden Zone. The Forbidden Zone is a vast and desolate expanse of yellow earth hills. An expert from Giant Sword sect uses a spell to create a stone sword to test the strength of the restriction. The restriction appears as a wall of cyan wind blades, extremely sharp and lethal. The expert from Giant Sword sect tests the restriction 4 times in a row, and its strength gradually weakens. Core formation cultivators from the other 6 sects prepare to open the Forbidden Zone.